Welcome to part second of the video, and in this we would be talking about the structural deficit and link with CFA, Certified Financial Analyst, not Chartered Financial Analyst, Certified Financial Analyst. So let's go to page number 11 of the Janus Henderson report. Page number 11. And I'm sure that 90% of you have heard Janus Henderson first time, that there is a hedge fund known as Janus Henderson. I'm pretty sure about that. So page number 11 of the Janus Henderson report, which is very latest, April 2021. By end of 2020, central banks owned 24% of the global government debt, which practically means that the total government debt is 62.5 trillion. So 25% precisely is near about 12 trillion, you can say. Near about 15 trillion. It means that the 15 trillion is owned by the central banks. Now, in this, I'm not deliberating the difference between the debt owned by the central bank and debt owned by the government. That I'm not deliberating, but anyways. The proportion was obviously much higher in the countries that have active QE policies, quantitative easing policies. In the US, 85% of 2020 borrowings was by Federal Reserve. 85% of 2020 borrowings is by Federal Reserve. In UK, two-thirds, which is near about 66%, is by Bank of England. So Bank of England rose the rate by 25 bips few days ago, which means that 66% of the funding is by Bank of England, which precisely means a heavy cost to Bank of England on the way. And near about one third, which is 33%, is by Bank of Japan. So three countries: US 85%, UK 66%, Bank of Japan 33%. This is reality. Okay, guys, we discussed about Janus Henderson, we discussed about structural deficit, we discussed about the central bank debt, and I'm sure that many people of the globe haven't heard that even central banks raise the money for the governments, thanks to Janus Henderson. Not to me, to you. Let's talk about fiction, where millions of dollars worth of fees is paid every year, which acts as an income for CFA Institute. On paper, they have committees, numerous committees, who takes care of the examination material, the learning outcomes, the question and answer session, and many more things. But the hard reality is these committees stand nowhere to the report I have just presented. If I had presented this report, the number, the statistics, without showing you the Janus Henderson report, none of them would have trusted. But now no one can refuse. Yes, the hardcore CFA people, those who have proud in their degrees but no knowledge, they would definitely be different. Now in this CFA, Go to page number 13. You know that we already acquired the CFA level 2 material thanks to Amazon, and level 2 material thanks to Amazon, and we are very soon going to be paying for level 3. Let us done with few modules and have few videos, and then we go with the level 3 module also available on Amazon. So all these books which we are using for material for video making, they all bought from Amazon. That's very important. So this is not from a third party torrent internet download. This is from Amazon. We need to learn that. In this, there are three big issues which we have in the bond pricing. Theoretical bond prices is given, but what the hell is the practical bond pricing? So let me give an example. There are two kind of interest risk a bond holder face. Number one is the reinvestment risk. Number two is the market risk. Theoretically, but practically it is incorrect. Practically, a bond holder face a risk called market risk. Like I said in my very first video, Lord Brahma created multiverse, multiple universe, not one universe. Earth is a part of which universe we do not know. Except Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, and Lord Shiva, we are not aware which universe is having Earth. So, bondholder face market risk. Reinvestment risk is a part of market risk. Reinvestment risk is of two types, and I'm sure you haven't heard about it. One is called MIRR, which is modified internal rate of return. One is MIRRX, which is again modified internal rate of return. But the only difference between the former, which is MIRR, and the new one, MIRRX, is the former have uniform dates, while the new one, MIRRX, having no uniform dates. And this is the first reality. In the world of financial markets, reinvestment cannot be at uniform rates, uniform dates. Let's take an example of Bank of England. There were hypes that Bank of England may end up increasing the rates. If you are a bondholder, whether this is a corporate bond, whether this is a junk bond, whether this is an investment grade bond or not, you would have hold your positions because you was waiting for Bank of England to increase the rate. And once Bank of England would increase the rate, you would come in the market and invest. You get 25 pips more. But all those who invested earlier, not waited for Bank of England, at least they lost 25 pips. It's a huge loss, by the way. 25 bips is not a small amount. So is MIRR is all about uniform dates? First of all, this book do not have MIRR. Forget MIRR. This book do not have MIRR. So do not even think about MIRRX. That is the difference between theory and fiction. My job hasn't done as yet. I hope I clarified. CFA, Certified Financial Analyst book do not have MIRR, but it talks about fixed income. At the top, got my point? Now, I just initiate this point and rest I covered in the part 3. Once I have a bond, and generally who invest in bond, the big boys like Goldman, JP, Citi, Standard Chartered, they invest in bonds. They have big prop positions, big client positions, and they valued at multiple terms. So they take a very big positions in FICC, and what exactly happened, they take big positions in bonds. But they take positions not as a buy and hold. They take position buy and sell. Their ultimate objective is money, profit. So, what are the various factors that a bond trader at JP Morgan Chase, Goldman Sachs, Citi, UBS, Morgan Stanley, they face, which is not covered by CFA? This we will deliberate in video 3. But before I quit, there is a huge difference between the fiction and the reality. And I repeat, this is fiction. Have a great time ahead. See you in the part 3.